kunisalia. Swali kubwa najiuliza mimi ni shadia. Siwezi sema juu handia. Na spendi mapicha
Lifestyle.
kwa bila filter.
Lifestyle.
Wamani ina feature.
Lifestyle.
Jengwanga mziza. Kila lebo kila tiza. Na spendi mapicha.
Hapa duniani niko na one life. Zinga lazima kwanza baptize. Kwenye ngini niko na half life. You know I pull up like a G. Shorty meweza she's a free. Hakuna ngaki tu ya free. Nakusanya unakani real. You know they love me for the lifestyle. Nataka nominati kumbe lifestyle. Unasema ni bangi kumbe lifestyle. Top team in the big proper lifestyle. I got big give me jack with the rise. Man a clock, man a clock, man a clock. Man a clock, man a clock, man a clock. RYTHM Sculpture. 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. RYTHM Sculpture. Come on.
Yes, family, karibuni sana. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are rather having a fantastic Monday afternoon or evening from wherever you are. 9 minutes past 4 p.m. Kenyan time. Let me know what is the time on your side, and of course let me know how your weekend was. My name is Shmani, and of course I am welcoming you officially to the Rhythm Scoop Show. Do remember, it's all about art, entertainment, and we do this every Monday to Friday from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. or rather from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. But karibuni sana, we have Katie with us.
Yes, hello good people, karibuni sana to another episode of the Rhythm Scoop Show. I'm hoping you're doing great. Just like I promised you, we shall be back in the next few minutes, and we are actually back. So karibuni sana once again. My name is Katie, and I'm hoping that you are doing great on this wonderful Monday evening. It's actually evening, yes.
Yes.
It's actually evening, and I'm hoping that yours is moving on smoothly and swiftly, and I'm hoping to having an interactive conversation with you right here. Remember, it's all about arts, entertainment, and culture. And in case you'd love to talk to us, remember we are live and interactive on our media handles. We are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, ama X. Yes.
Yes, you heard it right. You can interact with us. You're also live via our WhatsApp number 0705 428 388. Keep it interactive. Keep it the Black Hot Fire Network. And kama kawaida, we are going for that short musical break. We will be back with our quotes of the day. We are still in January. Please be quantitative, be motivative. Kindly try and motivate somebody out here. Also, that is just money shenanigans, by the way. Karibuni.
Yo, skiza, magi. Skiza, magi. Yo, napenda ukismile na baby you're so fine. Na bongo umenimaliza mimi so wine line. Nachanganya Kikuyu Kilami ndo niko shy. Situpige moshi mbili after hapo utakuwa high. Ati ni ngoma zangu tu ndo zinafanya skie fine. Ni ngoma zangu tu ndo napitisha nazo time. Ni ngoma zangu tu ndo zinafanya skie fiti. Na bado nanisho na picha yangu kwa kibeti. Doba ni kali ndo maana mimi na flex. Na siezi ngoja kukuona ni kukaresi. Napendi story kwanza zile za ma ex. Napata wapi tena kuna venye nilimes. Napendanga vile ukitoka unawamaliza. Na nikichwa mbaya na makalia na kutandika. Yopenda moshi na ndo maana na nitafutanga. Na ukija mbaya na kucheka kwanza zile za nimekuwa kwa zone. Nasakanya maganji manamba ziko kwa phone. Zingine zitakupamba zingine zitakubo. Juu kama brick and less man I'm back to the bone. Napenda ukismile my baby you're so fine. Na bongo umenimaliza mimi so wild life. Nachanganya Kikuyu Kilami ndo niko shy. Situpige moshi mbili after hapo utakuwa high. Ati ni ngoma zangu tu.
Yes, my quote of the day is, you must be the change you wish to see in the world.
Yes, my quote of the day says, kindness makes you the most beautiful person in the world, no matter what you look like.
zangu tu ndo napitisha nazo time, ngoma zangu tu ndo zinafanya skie fiti, na bado nanishona picha yangu kwa kingenda. Ukismile my baby you're so fine, na baki nikiuliza ni lini utakuwa mine, natamani kubonga na wewe so nipe time, kuna venye utanipenda so keti nikupe vibe. Anapenda kujituma manzi ni go getter, rangine majuu kila day na get better, kuna kitu naduka kanjiti anaweza leta, natamani kumare juka sura kana meta, na misi lengi kizungu ndo kidogo ngumu, wanaweza tupa lugha mbako sti kizunguzungu, napenda vile kitoko na wamaliza ngaa, si ufike hivi deka mbili pati kumeshangaa. Ukismile my baby you're so fine, na pongo umenimaliza mimi so wildlife, nachanganya kikuju kilami ndo niko shy, situpige moshi mbili after hapo utakuwa high. Ati ni ngoma zangu tu ndo zinafanya skie fine, ngoma zangu tu ndo napitisha nazo time, ni ngoma zangu tu ndo zinafanya skie fiti, na bado nanishona picha yangu kwa kibeti.
Yes, of course, that was Sean MMG. I don't know what MMG means. Maybe next time if we see him here, we're supposed to ask him what does MMG means. We also played BN featuring Scam Cardinali, Song of the Year for me. That was, of course, Lifestyle. How are you guys doing, by the way? How was your weekend, Katie? How are you?
I'm fine.
How was your weekend?
Man, you look sleepy.
I am full. I am
Guilty as
starting-
charged.
I am so
You're
full. I'm
looking
trying,
at me like
I'm trying to be active. Like,
Anyway, I'm fine.
Yeah.
My weekend was fantastic.
yeah.
Lots of activities, of course. Cleaning. I'm that woman nowadays.
Nowadays
No.
you clean.
Yeah,
Katie,
now I-
you used to call me out when I said I'm doing laundry.
But
I'm
man,
cleaning
no,
through the
now
weekend.
laundry is not part of the cleaning I'm talking about.
Okay.
Man,
Just general cleaning.
mwenye ananioa tu akwe na pesa. Man, siwezi.
Laundry machine. No?
Yeah. Anyway, I was cleaning. I went out, of course, and had a good time with friends. On Sunday, I had activities, of course, to do. So I was somewhere very far, and got back in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a good time. I was with you, of course, on Friday, and on Saturday I was doing cleaning, and on Sunday I was with friends again. I mean, I am always hosting people. I'm a good host. I'm really. I love my friends around. It's amazing time. But anyway, tell us how your weekend was and how you guys are doing. And if you're locked in with us on our YouTube channel, kindly interact with us on the chat room. And those who are tuning via the radio station or the radio app, you can let us know how your day is faring on. So far so good. How are you coping with the rains though?
As long as they are not raining during the day, I'm okay. I'm good to go because at night they don't get to affect any of our activities.
Yeah.
We are sleeping, and we actually love sleeping when the rain is pouring, because sometimes unasikianga ni kama uko na spectators.
I don't know how I don't know if it is a myth, but we've always known mvua ya usiku kwa gatamu.
Inakuanga tamu.
I
It's
don't
no
know how it
joke.
works. You just sleep.
But
peacefully.
nowadays I don't feel like mtu analala hivi. Kitambo you used to sleep.
Yeah.
And hata usikii mvua, siku hizi mtu anaisikia.
Yeah.
Ila kitambo you used to sleep and wake up to mad. You're like, it rained.
Yeah.
Nowadays you hearing the rains.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm loving it. So far so good. So long as-
Except from the muddy parts.
Yeah, but
the roads are messy and muddy.
yeah, but at the end of the day, sometimes it's good to be a little bit muddy and not so, how do we
Dusty.
say it? Dusty. Sometimes dusty is not good for me personally, health-wise. But I love it. Now, today is, of course, on a Monday. We are taking it easy. I had a shenanigan here. I'm just trying to look at it. Where is it? What is that one thing that everyone finds fun doing except you? Is it?
What is that one thing?
Like everybody around you would find it fun, but personally you're like, damn, nah, it's not fun.
Having cats.
Having cats. Okay.
Keeping cats, petting cats.
At a certain point in my life, I needed a cat.
Damn.
I would still, right now I can't keep a cat because I have a big cat. I can't really keep a cat right now, but cats help you with loneliness, you know, when
Nah.
Or dogs.
No, I'm not keeping
Or
that
dogs.
animal.
Then
I'd rather have a dog, but
Okay.
not inside the house right now, because my house is too small for to share with a dog. But in case I have a bigger house, I'd have a dog, but I don't think I can live with it in the house. You know, there's always that smell that comes from those animals. I don't love it.
Yeah.
Utakaka usikie nyumba inanuka, all zinakuja zinakaa kwa kiti yako, unapata manyoya everywhere. I don't love it.
Something I don't fancy nowadays, I feel super tired is and people think it's fun, is going out in clubs all the time. Like I do remember, Katie, not last year but one, I was going out, like literally I was
wilding.
outside. I was wilding. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. By Monday I am tired as hell.
Adulthood.
I know, and right now in a few kata point I really wanna go. I'm going. I even promise people I'm gonna go.
And
then I
you don't get
go.
there. I know the feeling. I'm always that person. Niko kwa nyumba, wacha nioge.
Yeah.
And I don't turn
And then
up.
I don't turn up. I think
Yeah,
that
I'd rather take a drink and have it in my home.
yeah, I guess that is it. And of course, let us look at now.
But with the look of things and how Nairobi is right now, you know, everything is crazy. People are getting murdered everywhere. Yeah, you would go and land to your death in a club.
club.
So everything is fearful, and you don't want to go outside getting and get into, you know, in the middle of a lot of nonsense. So sometimes I prefer being at home.
Yeah, and with the rates of like people dying each and every day, you're just scared. Yesterday my brother was traveling and I couldn't sleep because I was like, atafika sangapi. I just want to know he's okay. And I kept calling, do you have your belt on? Did you do this? Like, he's not a kid, but I'm just super worried, as in what's popping. I just want to see you home, then I feel okay. And then guess what I wake up to? As an 8-year-old child checking the sister to join Form 1, and then the 8-year-old dies in an accident. You know, and it is the same day. I mean, it's just so scary of what is happening. I think we should not normalize death. It's not actually good. It's not really good. But talking about death, let us just give our few thoughts about, you know, again, the story. We've talked about this a lot of times. From last week, or rather for the past 2 weeks, we have been talking about the killing of women. I heard you call it femicide.
Femicide.
Yes. And it is just so crazy because it has been back and forth for the past 3 weeks, ever since the year started. Women are being butchered in Airbnbs in Kenya, and because of sometimes hooking up, sometimes going, you know, out, meeting with wrong people, and it's just so crazy. And we thought that since last week was the hot sauce, now people are gonna come down. It hasn't taken even a few days, only to find another woman again butchered and cut into pieces,
and the head is missing.
The head is I mean, it's crazy. What did they do? That is why people are calling it witchcraft
and rituals,
you know.
And I don't know who told women, or sorry, I don't know who told our Kenyan people that these are Nigerian brothers. You know, right now everybody is talking about avoid hooking up with Nigerian men, avoid Nigerian men. Nigerian men should be deported from Kenya. Who said it was a Nigerian man?
Yeah.
The first incident that we reported right here
that
was our
Kenyan
man.
Yeah.
John Mataro was Kenyan. He was 100% Kenyan. So, what proves you that this one is a Nigerian man? You know, it's crazy. And also, you know, I saw a certain page. This page is so known, I won't mention the name. It's like we're glorifying women being killed. It's not right, even if they are doing hookups, even if they want it easily money.
Yeah.
It's not right for you to butcher a woman. You know, I saw somebody posting that women avoid doing these hookups, avoid going on dates with people.
Are they hooking up alone?
No, avoid going on dates with people you don't know. So this means if I go on dates with a person I don't know, he's supposed to kill me?
No.
Man,
it's not. And something that is really going to affect people is now the Airbnbs. And you find most of the people that own Airbnbs, from my perspective, are the youth. Unajua mimi nasikianga a lot of youth 30 and below, and probably 35 and below. Most of them, or majorly, they own Airbnbs as their business, you know, and the source of income. And Airbnbs was meant for vacational, you know, for vacation with the family, was meant for just, you know, having a chill time, so that at least when you miss home, you feel like uko home. It gives you that safe space, it gives you that good environment that you don't miss at home. Now Airbnbs have been turned into slaughterhouses, sexual nasikia orgies zinafanywa B&Bs, and it's just so crazy, you know. Sex parties. Orgies is like sex parties, having a lot of people having sex in one room.
Of course they would do that because nobody wants to be seen in their houses doing that. So most of the time you hear people are renting or leasing a Airbnb for like a 2-bedroom Airbnb. Just question yourself.
Exactly.
And there are so many of them, you like,
what is happening?
There's a party.
Yeah.
It's always those
and
parties.
These parties apparently they don't you know, they don't actually mean well. I don't know if you've ever been invited to a weird party, Katie.
I don't go to weird parties. If I don't know people, like 3 of the people in a party, or 3 people in a party, I'm not going. Honestly, I'm not going if I don't know people there. I have to know like 3, 2.
I've been in a space where I've attended one. It's crazy because, for example, if we are friends with you and then you invite me, you're like, you're going out with your boyfriend, right? And then you tell me, Shmani, by the way, we are going for a party na kutakuwa na watu, so pull up. See, I'm your friend, I trust you. I don't know your boyfriend, of course I've not met him, but I know you. So mi nikabebwa, and only to find myself in a space. So sikubebwa solo. I didn't know. I'm so naive. I'm from school, and she tells me my boyfriend has traveled back to Kenya, and is having a party this weekend. So if you're interested, you can pull up. Ameniambia nikuje na marafiki zangu. Sasa sisi ndio marafiki tumebebwa. So only to kabebwa, it wasn't me alone. There was also another chick. So we are 3 of us. So first we had to go to her boyfriend's place to meet the boyfriend there. And I thought the party was at her boyfriend's place. So before we get there, tunauliza, what will you guys drink, of course, so that everybody can feel comfortable in what they want to drink. So kila msa akasema, sijui mtu asema I need Jaeger, somebody was saying Black Label, you know, just a couple of drinks. And to our surprise, this guy bought a whole bottle for each one of us, right? So we get there, there is food, we are chilling. I'm like, hey, this party inaenda kukafi fiti. And then the guy, kila mtu akona boti yake. I'm excited. I'm like just feeling good, and I'm like, we are in a safe space. It was in Kilimani. I'm like, okay, nice. I don't know why all these things happen in Kilimani. So after a while, so the guy prepares, naona kaoga. The food was there. Of course, we ordered pizza and stuff like that. So tukakula. Akatambia kuleni kwanza. So I think the party is still here. So the guy comes to the bed from the bedroom, akatuweka chini. Now he sits there and is like, see, we already met him. Of course he picked at the gate, because unajua venye Kilimani apartments are, huwezi ingia bila mwenyewe. They have to come for you if you're a stranger. So the guy comes and says, we are going to the party. I'm like, oh, so this is not the party. We are going to this party. It's at my friend's place. And then he says this, nobody's gonna force you to do something that you don't want. So I'm still innocent. I don't even know, like, these parties exist. It has never even rung in my mind, like, what is happening. So we got there, and no, he says, and in my mind, when yakasema, nobody's gonna force you to do something. I like mature parties where we sit down, we just chill. Hakuna story ya siji, oh, you have to dance with me, oh, lazima ni kuchipo, oh, you know, stuff that happen in most normal parties. So I'm like, oh, they're just mature people. We are going to have a good time. We get to that place. I don't remember the apartment because it was at night. Now it's around 10 p.m. And the guy comes at the gate. Somewhere in the apartment. Comes for us at the gate. And then, you know, you have to have an ID. I didn't carry my ID. So tukakatazwa kuingia. So we had to call the guy to come and pick us at the gate. Sasa kufika kwa hii nyumba Kenti. There's a bunch of people, like a lot of people, a lot. We're not the only women. I see like almost 10, 15 women. And I'm like, wow, which party is this that is just full of people? And the women really look good. And then the men, people are just distributed all over. And then now look at the table, you see stuff and you're like, man, where am I? What is happening? Story for another day. I got out of trouble. It was just crazy. I happen to have been, and later I'm thinking that these people, come to think about it, what happens is they actually, what I realized later is they actually do this. This guy that went to his house, he actually organizes those parties. So he has the friends who say they pay for the parties, and then there's a bunch of women.
They get girls.
Yes, they get girls. It was a crazy experience. Crazy experience. One for the books. I really was shocked. But anyway, that is what happened. So these things happen in B&B. Sometimes you might lead with the wrong person, like the one you were telling us in the morning. And what Katie was saying is, there's this woman, all right? They went to Nigerians, of course, to a nice place. Nigerians promised them 300,000 shillings each. And one of their friends disappeared, only for them to be given a whole bunch of meat.
Actually, they said the friend died.
Okay.
Yes, the woman said that the friend died.
How?
She didn't explain, but
Okay.
she said that our friend died.
Yeah.
But we don't know where the body was taken. But I remember these men boiled a lot of meat and they gave us. And then it was very dark. They told us to eat. So I didn't eat, and the moment the other woman ate, she lost her memory.
Yeah. I don't know what to say about it.
It's like they ate their friend.
But how do you lose your memory? Because
I don't know,
remember even the other woman who was slaughtering kids for butchery. Those people who ate, all of them ate those kids. Do you think they lost their memory?
No.
Of course. So
maybe there's a ritual that we don't understand.
yeah, maybe. You can never know.
Maybe they're using African women for rituals.
Probably.
Because this is crazy. For the incident we're talking about, this woman who was slaughtered and the head is still missing. What do you think that the head
is gone? Like, how do you explain? Where did the head go? And then the worst part is the guy used a wrong ID. You see, a wrong identification. And he can't be traced. And maybe alichukua kina nyuma. They can only see the claws. They can't see the face. And the woman has been slaughtered. 24-year-old young girl. And you find most of them are really young girls. We come back to the conversation where learn to hustle. Learn to get your own money.
But also this doesn't mean that women should be killed. Man, let's stop femicide. You know, this has been crazily accepted. It's like something we are accepting. If a woman is a prostitute, she deserves to be killed.
Yeah.
If a woman wants it easily, she deserves to be killed.
No,
this is not right. It's not right. Let's stop killing our women, man.
Yeah.
This is just crazy and disgusting.
If
Waking
we
up
are
to deaths of women every time.
If you're killing women, of course you're killing a generation. Because what is happening without women anyway? That is just TMI. And I hope you guys are actually, enjoying this amazing conversation. Now, apart from that sad news, let's talk about now positivity rather. Not so positive, but this is the MCSK CEO, Ezekiel Mutua. And once again, Ezekiel Mutua has spoken very early in the year. And he says that 20 million Kenyan shillings to be distributed to 16,000 musicians on January 25th. And he says that's an average of 1,250 shillings per musician. It's the audacity for me, KG. 1,250 shillings per musician. You want to tell me how much these musicians have put in work? You want to give Bien 1,200.
Last time, don't you remember how much he got? He got 1,200.
Yeah, me, I ever got 66.
Lucky you.
Yeah, I got that. At least I got. The people did not get. They got like 2 bob, and it's just crazy. So I really don't get it, because this is supposed to be changing. If you're in charge of musical distribution and you see how much, and me, I don't blame even artists in Kenya who struggle, because I'm like, these people put in a lot of work, put in a lot of videos. You find there are videos, Katie. There's no video less worth right now 50,000 that is going to be okay. Even video of 50,000 is less budget, low budget video. People put millions and millions of shillings in videos, and then you want to tell me with all that investment, you have 1,250 shillings to give this person, maybe who has not even done a show. It's just crazy, because this is just not making sense for me. Like,
I'm waiting to see how much KRG will receive.
Why? So Kabiwa Jesus and I can't wait for my share.
What?
Kabiwa Jesus is a
He's an artist. Is he a rapper? Is he a singer?
Aki love. I mean, it's just crazy. But this is not good. Literally, imagine each musician receiving 1,250. Ukitoa tax hapo unabaki na around 1,000. Ukiomba fare na dem inabaki mbao. Literally, kila mtu akule 1250 yake atulie. That is what Kenyans are saying. And of course, wasanii hata wajaongea. They don't even take keen. That's why you find artists right now. I like the fact that they are going out of their zone. Unapata most of the artists, they have their own personal shows that don't even include YouTube. They don't even depend on Spotify. They don't depend on these distributing platforms for them to get a living. They have started their own ways. They have their own ways of earning income through their platforms, which is super positive. But Katie, how can you conclude on that?
I think that is just crazy, and we saw this last year.
Yeah.
It was last year where we saw Bien alipata kati. Sijui ilikuwa ni ngapi. I'm not sure. It was a very funny amount for Bien to receive, knowing the much contribution he has brought to the Kenyan music or the Kenyan music industry. But at the end of the day, I believe even the artists don't live for this money. They don't even actually wait for it and even anticipate for it, because they know they are expecting the government to disappoint them. So I believe they are hustling hard, not for them to be even recognized by the government. And this is something that is great, because if they were waiting for the government to support their art, this would be a lot of tears.
But it's crazy, because the same government wants to tax everything. Even on TikTok now. They want to tax even content creators. I mean, can't imagine you put in all your work, you wake up, create content. And let me tell you, there's nothing as hard as creating content. Hey, ask a content creator.
Content creation is hard.
I mean, I see these things and I'm like, how do you get all these ideas to do? How do you come up to create all this?
How are you able even to do this?
I know, it's a lot of work. And it's for fun. Bruh, that's work. Like, that's somebody's work, literally. And these people are not even being recognized. Akitengeneza yo kidogo, government nataka tax. I mean, till when? Till when? But anyway, there is a video going viral. I want us to discuss this, and Katie, don't kill me, because I came to you, you told me this na nikakata.
Kakubwa sana hiyo mambo hii ya tohara. Ati mtu mwingine anasema wewe ni mtoto mdogo, manake wewe hujatahiriwa. Hiyo si mpumbavu. Si mpumbavu. Si ujinga. Niambia vuka tu mpaka uje Uganda hapa. Uganda hapa makabila mbili pekee yao ambao wanatahiri. Wagishu ambao wanahusiana na Bukusu na Wabokonjo. Bakonjo wako kule vile mlima Nzori peke yake. Waganda, Wasoga, Wanyankole, Wabanyoro, Abatoro, Wakumam, Wateso, Wacholi, Walangi, Walukbara, wote watahiri. Hii mambo ya tahara ndio ya Bantu ya Kenya hii peke yake. Bantu bandile watahiri. Hii mambo ya tahara ndiye kidogo sana, ni kitu ya dini tu. Ilikuja dini ambayo ilipita huko Ethiopia ndio kaingia hapa Kenya kwa Bantu hapa. Bantu hata kuingia kule DRC hawatahiri. Hata kienda kule Cameroon hawatahiri. Hata kienda kule South Africa hawatahiri. Mambo ya tohara ni kitu kidogo sana. Mtu ambaye anachukua mambo ya utahara kama ni kitu kubwa sana ni mpumbavu. Mpumbavu sana. Kama ile mambo ya kutahiri akina mama. nakwenda kukata nembe ya kina mama.
Yes, in short, now, before I give you time, now, circumcision is only a Kenyan Bantu thing. It is a tribal matter that came with religion. It was introduced in Kenya to the Bantus through religion. Bantus in DRC do not circumcise, same as Cameroon, South Africa. Anyone that takes circumcision seriously is a fool. That is the former Vice President of Kenya and the opposition leader Raila Amolo Odinga. And let me give Katie the floor first and foremost. Don't come for me.
Kumbe venye nadhaningi ni ukweli.
No,
I wonder.
come on.
Ay, my lord. I wonder.
Come on.
You know,
Yeah.
no, I wonder. Why would such a grown man talk about circumcision like that?
Yeah.
He says it's not an important thing.
Yeah.
Actually, if you think circumcision is so important, you're a foolish man. This is what this opposition right here in Kenya said. The leader of opposition right here in Kenya said. I can't stop thinking what I'm thinking.
I mean, what I just
wonder.
said. The other day, Katie was telling me that Luos don't circumcise.
Yes!
I don't know about that.
And he has been so against this for the
Yeah.
longest time, and right now to prove ni kama ni ukweli, you know.
But he doesn't represent all Luos.
Let me tell you
At the end of
something.
the day.
Kuna watu walikuwa nasema baba hajatai.
Walai.
For the longest time.
Oh, umejua.
Sijui lakini ni kama kwa hiyo video na to prove
Yeah.
there is some truth in that, you
Yeah.
know. Anyway, I wonder.
I mean, for me, nakata hapa na umse, and I do believe circumcision is very important. Not even when you check at religion. Let us look at the positive health effects of circumcision. I mean, it helps you, you know, to actually, how do we say it? Not get diseases, unajua, or capture diseases easily. And I do believe him coming to say, you know, Cameroon are not circumcised, or who is not circumcised, that is a lie, because we've seen even Luo men who have been circumcised. It's very important for you to have circumcision at a younger age to avoid all that. It is really, 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 really important. And the first comment I'm seeing is Katie. How? Why am I seeing your first comment on this post?
I wonder.
I swear, you want kumbe history yao huko ukweli. I wonder. I'm also seeing somebody saying, Mulamwa is saying no transaction fee atukatwe kitu. And then there's somebody saying, our Nyanza people find it hard every day kutetea baba. Oh, how do you tetea this?
How do you tetea that, honestly?
Shmani. I know.
Utatetea aje huo
Winnie Njagi anasema the foreskin itself is a turn off. Alafu mtasema ushaona president hajatairiwa. Somebody saying Ida Odinga ameona mengi.
ameona mengi.
I mean, it's just crazy, man. Please, let's go and
This
get
man
started.
is just he's 78 right now.
Yeah. Sometimes, you know, I think about his age and I'm like, this guy is just getting old.
I'm
He
the
don't
age
know.
of 70.
He doesn't know what he's saying at a certain. He's losing
No,
it.
he's not losing it. You know, Ruma had it a long time ago
Yeah.
that he has not done that thing. And right now, it's like he's proving that it's true.
Yeah.
But anyway, Luo people are known for not taking circumcision seriously. Especially those who are in those remote areas.
Yeah.
Unasikianga, unajua ni Mluo, hajatae.
Well,
Hey!
how comes I've never heard, man? I really am.
I
I'm
don't
really
know.
in denial because I don't remember my brother alipelekwa 2 years.
I remember, nakumbukanga kuna wimbo ingine ya Kikuyu. I won't sing that song.
Okay.
I know, it's like people are arguing. So, you tell me, try touch me. I'll say you're not circumcised.
Alright. So like if it's an embarrassment.
It's like we are fighting. So, we are fighting with the words.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'll beat you up, Shmani.
Yeah.
And then you're telling me, touch me, I'll say you're not circumcised.
Yeah.
It's a song.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this two different
Two Luos.
communities working.
No, Katie, you're doing the most. But circumcision is important though, guys. I don't know me. I don't know. Apparently, I've never met a man who's not circumcised. I'm a
don't
lucky
know.
one.
I even don't know how it.
I'm a lucky one. I'm a really, really lucky woman. Men, please, we don't want you uncircumcised.
But you know,
Untouch yourself.
if a man is not circumcised, it's likely he can bring cervical cancer to a woman.
Exactly.
A lot of diseases are to a woman. So please get cut.
Get cut. Period. Go and get cut. Anyway, let's move to other news and updates. And this is about the Bungoma governor. And the Bungoma governor has come out to say, or rather, and calls out, the Bungoma governor is Kenneth Lusaka. He calls out for pregnant teens to be barred from continuing with their studies to tame crisis in the country. And Bungoma governor Ken Lusaka has called for pregnant teens to be barred for continuing with their study to tame the crisis in the country. Speaking to journalists at his home on Saturday, he said a law barring their resumption would help the rest be careful and responsible. Nowadays, girls are getting pregnant and allowed to go back to school, where many are seeing it as a non-issue, he said.
That man is very stupid.
Yeah.
So I won't get education just because I got pregnant. What if I was raped?
Yeah. Yeah. Come to think about it from this perspective. Like, I don't really agree with what he said, not even 1%, because at a certain point, Katie, people are young. You know, you can't blame them for getting pregnant.
Sometimes
they don't know, you know. Sometimes they're not even taught well. You know, families where I'm from, a family where we never had sexual education with my mom. These are things I learned in school. And maybe if you are too old to go to school, maybe you would have gotten pregnant. You never know that there is always circumstances at which people get. And let us look at who makes these people pregnant first and foremost.
It's men.
And now,
And they are old men.
And they are old men. Why are we not taking, regulations and concern to the root cause of the situation? Because these girls are innocent, being lured by older men, sometimes being bought for pads, sometimes being lured even with chocolate, small money, you know, and then they end up getting sick and pregnant at the same time. So you want to go and blame an innocent soul that was just lied to at a certain point, forgetting and punishing them that right now because you're pregnant, let's use you as an example so that the rest cannot be pregnant before school. Unajua, for him that is a way for actually curbing early pregnancy. It don't make sense. It don't make sense at all.
That is not a reasonable way to cut somebody's education. You know, getting pregnant, and we keep on saying it right here. It doesn't mean that is the end of you.
Exactly.
There is always life ahead of that. So how do they expect these women to continue with their life if they are not going to school and further their studies?
Yeah.
You know, it's so dumb to have men thinking like this, and it's always men who are responsible for impregnating these young girls.
Yeah.
And look at it on this other side. Imagine, you know, these people keep on talking and they forget they have children, they have daughters, they have sons.
Exactly.
You know, imagine you're in a situation where your daughter was raped. She gets pregnant. So is it her fault? Was that her fault that she got raped and got pregnant?
Yeah.
Now she can't further her studies just because she got pregnant during her school years. It's just crazy. Man, let's avoid thinking in that side because it's not going to save us.
And you know, this is a leader. This shows you the stigmatization that also comes from the society.
You're judging a very young girl who was just naive and maybe didn't know when she does these things she'll get pregnant.
Yeah.
Sometimes these women are lured because one, she's coming from a very poor background. She's not able to afford a sanitary towel.
Exactly.
So there's a man who deceives this young girl and tells her, you know, I'll buy this. And we have seen this happening even to a point that there's a very young girl who is maybe the provider of the family, and she still needs to go to school. So she has to sleep with other people to even get food for her family, for the brothers and sisters. You know, I saw a story, a very sad story. And we even had Dimore talking about a story where there was this woman who got to prostitution at the age of 14 because her mother disappeared and she was left now as the breadwinner of the family.
Exactly.
And remember, she's just 14. so she's forced to get into prostitution.
Yeah.
So in this case, would you blame that woman for getting pregnant?
No, you wouldn't.
You wouldn't.
Exactly.
Stop thinking in a stupid way, and especially leaders, you know, you are the ones limiting these girls sometimes. Instead of trying to find ways of helping them, you're trying to stigmatize them and making them feel like they made the poorest decisions in their life. Man, this is so bad coming from a leader.
Yeah.
But this is not a leader, of course. It's just a politician.
I always say one thing. It's not about where you are. It's about the process. We learn through our mistakes. You know, if you didn't teach them well, sometimes they make mistakes. Sometimes people just make mistakes so that they can learn from it. If this is somebody, and you find that most of the women who are really, really strong, ni wenye wamepata watoi, because it just makes them strong in another way. You never find them making the same mistakes, unless this was now a stupid person. I've seen some that have even given birth to 3 kids at their mom's place, back and forth, continuous, you know. But it doesn't mean that we should shut them down just because they made early mistakes at the early ages. It's not supposed to be like that. As in, you as a leader, who people look up to, you as a father, you have daughters, you have relatives, you have people who look up to you, and then you come to public and say that, you know, this is not right, and of course it's not supposed to be like this. I really want to see what Kenyans had to say.
Even these young girls, if you ask them, did you want to get pregnant?
Nobody
They
wanted.
didn't.
Exactly. And I'm seeing people on the comment section not actually you know, agreeing with him. Somebody saying we have no leader here, and then there's somebody saying call the men or boys also face the same predicament. Mtu anasema watu wa Bungoma, see what your votes are doing. Somebody saying that hey, watu wanasema tu chochote. There's somebody saying to what help does this bring to the society? And somebody saying this is a reverse mindset. Then somebody also is saying sasa huyu anafikiria wapi? Now if you look at all these comments, nothing is coming on a positive way. I mean, all these comments, when you look at them, people are actually disagreeing with this guy. Now people are not in agreement, and we can't have leaders like this. Like we can't, if these are the leaders you expect to actually help us, this is somebody Katie hata ukimkuja nataka help, they start blaming you from your past stuff. And this is somebody who is supposed to be issuing bursaries, supposed to be helping the society. I mean, it's just selfish mentality for me. But anyway, going to other news and updates. This is about the Bolt. Now the Bolt has introduced one feature to discourage offline riding, and taxi hailing platform Bolt has introduced a new feature on this app, a cancellation option duped driver asked to pay off the app, which discourages riders from taking trips offline and paying off the app. Bolt says the feature is also meant to reduce chances of drivers asking riders to cancel trips and calculate their fares offline. Further, the new feature enables riders to take immediate action if they encounter such situation. Bolt adds that notorious drivers use such opportunities to overcharge riders. What do you think? Personally, I have helped and I have used offline rides, and when I come to think about it, not only even in let me look at it from two perspectives. Sometimes you might take a cab, right? Maybe to Tao or wherever you're going, and then the driver says, "Hii pesa ni kidogo, kindly just go offline so that Bolt cannot charge me for that." And they get to save a lot of money because the taxation sometimes it's crazy with the Bolt. Now maybe it has not gotten a ride the whole day. Somebody maybe has a family to
Plus
feed.
the cost of fuel.
The cost of fuel. There's just a lot happening. Now unamfilia. Now look at it from the perspective where you say it's offline, and then mwenye anakurai to an offline direction is a killer or is a rapist. How is he going to be traced? And yet you had already cancelled. You know, it's crazy from that perspective. So not only for definitely overcharging prices, but also due to security purposes, it is just not okay. But again, if Bolt has introduced this is going to mean that a lot of these drivers are going to lose a lot, because offline rides used to help them. I do believe if they really didn't want them to go for these offline rides, they would have made the taxes affordable or realistic so that nobody feels the pinch, because the reason as to why people are going offline is because there is a big pinch of first and foremost rides, which is crazy. Yeah.
Well, I think it's okay for the safety of the rider or the motorist, but not the motorist. The one who was requested for the cab.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, sometimes I feel like these people are being oppressed. They take 22 point something percent from the amount of the money you're going to pay to the cab driver. Now imagine I'm paying 500 and this person is taking 22% point something of that. Now imagine how much the rider has been left with.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Sometimes I feel like it's okay to help them if you know you are safe.
You're safe, exactly.
During the day I do a lot of offline trips.
Yeah.
Yeah, during the day, and especially when I'm not alone, because I know this person will not be able to hijack me alone, or will not be able to hijack me when we are like 3 of us.
Yeah.
It's acceptable if you have agreed to go for an offline trip. But in case you don't look like you want to trust that person, don't. But also, these people don't look, even Matara, he might be looking so innocent, but he's harmful,
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you don't know who to trust because you don't know them. These people are strangers. So you might opt for an offline trip, and then you end up meeting your death, or maybe you end up in a tragedy where you cannot rescue yourself. So for your safety, don't pick up offline trips.
It's not advisable.
It's not advisable.
Yeah, I remember that time when we were coming from the park, and the park to Rongai is like 300 shillings. You remember that guy? And then on our way here, I think he had a problem with his car. And apparently, I don't think it was offline. So if it is not offline, from 300 shillings, maybe he got like 200 bob, right? And the cops are on his neck now. Unajua, they caught us and they had to put him on the other side of the road. Now they want close to 1,000 shillings, of course, for bribes. Not that they are correcting you. They have already known that this is a mistake. Your car doesn't have a license, so you don't have I think he didn't have a mirror.
It's one light.
Yeah.
The light was not working
correctly. So the cops saw this and took him on the side. And the ride was 300 shillings. And the people that brought him to Rongai. And then the cops want like, I don't know, 1,000 shillings and plus. Now I may insist that is the money they want. Now in this type of situation, I mean, unafilio say, because first and foremost, I was feeling because we are the people that brought you first in Rongai. And then you've not even made that 1,000 shillings. You've made 300 shillings. And the cops already want extra from you, another 700 from you. We had to help this guy. Apparently, we had to pretend, entertain the policeman till he let this guy go. I think it took like 100 shillings after all that harassment.
and our
numbers. I mean, it's just crazy when it comes to also
we had to lie that we are the driver's sisters.
Yeah, it was just crazy. And then he told us, let me choose one of you guys to be my girlfriend. Cops are nuts. Cops are nuts. I saw Nairobi cops, not even Kenyan cops. They're just so crazy. But I see a lot of people in the building. I see Gino Mosquito and Asema Pale. Hi y'all. Hi to you too. I also see Gino Mosquito saying, Shmani, what's going on in Kenya? The murderers are really out of control. There's a lot of femicide and it's just crazy. It's getting out of hand. John Mosquito is also saying that from what Joby said, all you have to do is to buy a lady KFC in Kenya and you can take advantage of them.
Especially these university girls.
Yeah.
Just buy them liquor.
Alcohol.
Even if it's chrome.
Yeah, anything, even moonshine.
Yeah, they just take anything. Alcohol and food.
Because
comrades are surviving. We call it Quinama.
Yeah.
Quinama is when it's like now you have to bend for lunch to pass or for lunch to skip.
Yeah,
you're
skip a
skipping
meal.
meals.
Yeah.
So if you skip a meal and then there's a man who wants to buy you chicken, KFC, and a drink, man,
they go really fast.
And then you go and find their houses. They have Wi-Fi and very big TVs and Netflix.
And
you're not living that
And this
place.
is how you find them being killed.
Yeah, this is how they get
This is how they get killed. because sometimes you never know who you're going to. You never know whose house you're going to. You might go to a murderer, a kidnapper. You might go to a crazy person's house. So also check on that. Young girls, you can't be lured by all this. I mean, umepita hiyo time yote ukiwa high school wa baba and then unakuja kuliwa because of KFC. KFC that is 300 shillings.
It's so shameful.
It's shameful and sad. It's just so sad. It's the fact that I don't know. Who do we blame in this situation?
Men, why are you killing people?
Yeah, the killing part is not necessary. It's not totally allowed.
Man.
Yeah. But as we come to the main focus of the day, this is about the status upgrade and the cost to upgrade the status. Now it is just so crazy because State House, yeah.
Oh, why are you saying status?
State House.
Oh.
Yeah. I said State House.
Oh, I'm hearing status.
Focus. Now, a supplementary budget now shows it will cost taxpayers at least 795 million to upgrade the country State House, a renovation exercise that has already commenced. Further, the budget indicates that the initial estimate for the renovation has been capped at 195 million before being increased by 600 million shillings. The upgrade includes reconstruction and refurbishment of sectors in the building and purchase of state-of-the-art equipment. The facelift follows a report which found out that parts of the state facility had become unfit for habitation. Sources at State House saying that President Ruto declined a proposal to build a new residence which would have consumed not less than 2 billion and only okayed a renovation on the existing building. The minor constructions have made President Ruto a nomad between multiple state house and state lodges across the country since last Christmas. City nomad. According to a president schedule, White State House Nairobi remains closed. President Ruto is set to visit Kakamega, Kisumu, Sagana, then Mombasa, where he will make sure and make use of the regional state facilities. Other state houses and state lodges across the country are also set to get a facelift in a budget that is estimated to a cost of 514 million shillings. Now we are doing a renovation, and Tete was showing me in the morning of the state house that has been built, newly built state house in Tanzania, which was way cheaper, freshly built from the ground. This has been here for years and years, and the renovations are actually costing more than the Tanzanian newly built state house. You hear him saying there was option of actually building a new state house that could cost 2 billion Kenyan shillings, but he opted because it's a lot of money. All right, let's just do renovations, and this has made him a nomad, okay, in different nations or different states, where he has now to move from one state house to another, which is not okay. I don't know your thought about it.
Man, this is crazy. We had talked about this early in the morning, and I feel like this is crazy one. How do you find it so easy misusing a lot of money while we have people living in the streets? The state house is so well built.
Yeah.
I don't believe it requires renovation.
Yeah. And even if it does, it's not a billion shillings.
Yeah, that's a lot of money,
it's
man.
It's not a billion shillings. Even if it does, it's not a billion shillings. You say that you actually declined this because you thought it's not necessary. Why are you allowing it right now? We are fighting with the economy. The same time, we want to renovate state house that is just going to be used for 5 terms, and another one will come and say, this is not my preference. Let us change. I'm not in the other government. So we'll be actually changing this each and every time.
And this is the taxpayers' money, and we're still fighting to pay loans.
Yeah.
Man, this is just crazy. I feel so sad for my pocket.
Me too. I just really feel sad because I know a lot of money from my pocket is going to go to state house in all perspectives. I mean, kama unasanya asungesema tu na to start your state house. Why were you actually? I saw Raila coming out to talk to the churches, and he called out the Anglican churches, and he said that the churches have no confidence anymore. The churches don't know how to call right or wrong. When the government is doing right, the churches just move with it. And he's so ashamed that they can't stand for the truth anymore. He stood closely and said mostly the Anglican Church would add an influence and could tell the government that the tax, akasemadi, okay, paying tax is okay, but you can't borrow debt to pay debt. And he said, when we see this, you're supposed to call it out. Church is like, I wanted to call it an arm of the government, but you know I'm not allowed to call it because the church holds a really big mindset opportunity, or how do I say it? The church a really big factor to decisions being made by the government. Sometimes you hear, this church has come to spoken about this church has come to say this, and it's actually really taken into notice. Now I'm looking at the churches and I'm like, come on, we are in a place where we believe that we are in a religious nation. Do you believe that the people who actually applaud churches, the church would actually come against them and say you're doing wrong? No, it doesn't make sense. Na akasema huwezi lipa deni na deni. Chukua taxes lakini pia usinyime watu sana. Kama ulikuwa unataka pesa ya kujenga state house, ungesema tu. Imagine you've been paying all these taxes just to be used to build a renovate, not even build. It's just super crazy. But as we come to the end of the show, fuel prices have dropped with 5 shillings in the latest April review. Petrol to retain at 207, diesel at 196, and kerosene at 194 Kenyan shillings. Now they've reduced to 5 shillings. Of course, last time when we were talking about it, Katie, it's not that, because when we looked at our brothers from Tanzania, how comes the fuel had been reduced, alright, the prices, and we get from the same people, and yet ours inapanda. I always say the same thing. I'm a yeka 2 of 7, but you can find it's even above the sale still. Unajua? So that us, we can feel like it's really doing us a favor by reducing the cost of fuel, but at the end of the day, bado tunalipa more and more. I do believe that can be the situation, and you're not supposed to be really happy on this. I think Kenyans, some of them are excited. Some are saying, oh, it's high time. Oh, Zakaya mefanya. Somebody says, sasa magari za stima na tokens zilipanda. How do we do this? Think about that. Yeah, so that is what is happening. Fuel is actually reduced by 5 shillings, but this is not the end of it. This is not supposed to be people being happy about it, because if you are happy about this, sometimes we are just still above the sale level. So think about that as you get excited. It's supposed to be fuel at a certain point. Katie, kerosene, mimi nilikuwa na buy kerosene hadi sijui.
I remember tulikuwa tunabuy hadi ya 10 bob.
Hadi ya 10 bob. At a certain, nilikuwa naenda ile chupa ya maji naekewa, and it was almost half a liter.
20.
Half a liter, closely. And right now we have the same kerosene at 194 shillings, meaning per liter is close to 90 something shillings.
No, 100 is a liter.
Yes, I'm saying per liter is 194. So meaning half a liter is close to 100 Kenyan shillings. We used to buy at around 50 bob, 60 bob, or rather even 40 shillings. It's just crazy, Katie. What can you say?
This is just crazy. Kenyans, you will be happy about this, but at the end of the day, this is not the cheaper the fuel can get.
Yeah.
I believe it can get lower than this. So
Yeah.
it's not something yet to celebrate.
Don't be so super excited. I see in the comment section, this is Steppers and Asema, we can't all be happy, but moderation is key. I don't know what you mean by that. Are you talking about the fuel prices? Kindly let us know. I also see Kit in the building, and I also see this is also Steppers and Asema pale, babies, don't fight. Hard system is rough to the core. Believe me, don't fight. Babies, don't fight. Hard system is rough to the core. Believe me. Of course, we are facing it, but if we're in a situation where we are being told that we can't fight each and every day, till when are we going to be accepted?
I'm just realizing that Kenyan shillings has hit 160 mark.
Damn.
Against the dollar.
And then you're telling me not to fight? I mean, we're just supposed to be accepted.
It was the other day we were checking, it was 158.
So each and every day there is a change, Katie. Tutafika hadi 200. And 1 shillings is 15 shillings Tanzanian. Hata tutakuwa na nguvu ya kusema siji hizo pesa zenu. You know, the way Kenyans wanakuwa na kiburi na kusema each and every day. Etileteni hizo pesa zenu mingi hapa. Unajua? It's just 15 shillings. It's not a lot. Na ikiendelea kupanda hivi each and every day, yao inapanda. So yao inashuka. So it's just crazy where we are heading as a nation. So don't get super excited. Step up, you know, we don't want to be in a place where we are being told you can't fight. History, let's accept. Let's just move on with it. If we are with this type of thought, then we are not going to move. We're not going to actually make a change. I do believe that we are supposed to be talking. We are supposed to fight against it. We are supposed to be actually fighting against bad governance. That is all I have to say as we come to the end of the show. Katie.
Yes, asanteni sana manze. I hope you have enjoyed our conversation. Hope to see you tomorrow early in the morning on the Vibe Show.
Yes, family, thank you so much, Mr. Black or Fire. I see you in the building, but you're a little bit late. You can catch up with this live later. And of course, for those who tuned in on our TikTok page, thank you so much, Steppers. Thank you so much. You know, everybody who was with us. I still see 3 people in the building. I see Abraham Young. I see Black or Fire Network Steppers. And I also see Anhelka Njahu. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys, you follow this page on TikTok. Share the live. And do remember to join us tomorrow very early in the morning on the Vibe Show. To those who are listening to us via the radio app, thank you so much. I don't know if our app is back. Hopefully, I hope it's gonna be back soon. And of course, if you don't have the app, you can still listen to us via our website www.blackoutfirenetwork.com. Till then, enjoy the rest part of your day. Much love.
Nachanganya Kikuyu Kilami ndo niko shy. Situpige moshi mbili after hapo utakuwa high.
Thank you for the gift.
Whipping scopes from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Whipping scopes.
Come on. Skiza magi. Yo, napenda ukismile my baby, you're so fine. Unapongo umenimaliza mimi so wild like. Nachanganya Kikuyu Kilami ndo niko shy. Situpige moshi mbili after hapo utakuwa high. Ati ni ngoma zangu tu.